Hi guys, I thought today would be a good day to talk about your environment and how it affects you, especially those with chronic illnesses and inflammation. You know, the reason today is so apropos is because my air conditioner is not working, and I live in South Florida and it's 91 degrees outside, so I have every fan going and there's a nice breeze coming through the windows, but there's a storm rolling in. And that storm is what causes changes. It causes changes to people who have inflammation. When you have this swelling inside your body, and then, the barometric pressure or the air pressure pushes on the earth, which creates a barometric pressure reading. That causes the pain that people with inflammation feel. And even though I'm in remission, I think because I have RA as a separate illness to lupus, even though we know it's all related, I think it just kind of hits me sometimes. And I think there's two sides. People either go, oh, it's just the environment, and they dismiss it, or they go to the other side and say, oh my God, I'm going into a flare. And I'm not in a flare. I'm just kind of achy. I'm kind of achy. I'm kind of feeling it. I feel the earth. I feel everything that's going on the earth today. And I know once this storm passes, so will the aches and pains. But then what do you do? What do you do for that kind of inflammation? When it's not your entire body filled with inflammation, it's just kind of like, oh, my knuckles hurt, oh, my knee's a little achy, oh, my ankle's kind of, what do you do for days like that? And unfortunately, there are only a few things you can do, because even though I love raw foods, and raw foods has given me so much life, it's kind of hard to fight with the environment sometimes. And so that's when I use Aleve, Advil, whatever, your choice of an anti-inflammatory is. I choose Aleve, and it takes it right away, and I don't have a problem. And there are other things you can do. You can do the hot cold thing. You can put ice and then heat, and then ice and then heat. And it does reduce the inflammation. It does make your pain start to go away. But it's not, it's kind of, even though I am not for medications, I think that's the last resort. Sometimes you gotta take it. Because sometimes your environment causes you to. Just like with photosensitivity, environment matters. If I don't cover up, if I don't stay out of the sun during the middle of the day, I'm fatigued at the end of the day. Not regular tired fatigued, but bodily fatigued. And I don't even know if that's a word, but it's like an internal fatigue. It's not an extra. It's not like, oh, I'm just a little down today, or oh, I'm just a little tired today. No, it's like my body hurts because I haven't taken care of it. So you have to do those things. You can't just want to run out and be and do everything. That was the whole lesson of getting a chronic illness, is you can't be everything for everyone. You can't do everything for everybody else and neglect yourself, put yourself last. You have to put yourself first. It's if your friends want to go out and it's the middle of the day, you gotta take notice. What's the temperature outside? How hot is it? Is it gonna affect me? Your friends will understand. They will. You don't think they will, but they will, because you're that kind of person who thinks you have to be able to do it all. And they're not used to it when you don't do it all. So you kind of retrain your friends. You go, okay, well, let's not do lunch, let's do dinner instead. Let's do something later, let's do something earlier. And your friends are usually pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? pretty much will go with the flow. And I found that over this year, that once people with chronic illnesses kind of keep things to themselves, they don't share their illness, they don't share what they're going through, mostly because they don't want to be a quote crybaby, you know, they just don't want people to think bad things about them. But sometimes you gotta step up to the plate and say, hello, I can't do that. It's not gonna work for me. Why don't we do this instead? Because what happens is most people don't offer alternatives. They just say no, and then they just don't go, and then they're the odd man out. And then you feel like, you know, you can't participate, especially people with photosensitivity who don't go out in the middle of the day. You know, train your friends to do things a little different, because if they are your friends, they'll do it. And when you do go out, cover up, be prepared, have dark sunglasses, you know, make sure they're UV protected, 100%. If they don't say it, they're not. And just pay attention to your environment. Pay attention to what's going on around you, your world, so that you can adjust to it, so that you can live in it. It's never going to adjust to you, so you have to adjust to it. And by doing that, you can have a better life. You can have a great life. You can live lupus free. You can live chronically ill free. But pay attention. Just pay attention to what's going on around you, especially your environment. And know that you can't change your environment, but you can change yourself in order to live with it. Ciao.